Welcome back, NDL Weekly. Sprung it on him. I T-boned him with the record button. Dude, Olave's just good. You know what? I saw in my keeper league, a guy's 3-3. He decided he wanted to give up CMC, who was a non-keeper, for Olave straight up. That was a 7th round keeper. Is that enough for CMC? And you can only keep him 3 years.
Wow. And they assume they increase next year. He'll be a 6th round, then a 5th round, and a 4th round.
So how we do it is you can't keep the first 2 rounds, but you can keep for that same round drafted for 3 years.
Oh, so he's a 7th pick, 7th round for the next 3 years.
So where do you think in half PPR, this is like a standard 12-man start 2 wide receiver with 2 flex, half PPR, 1 quarterback. Now it's 6 keepers. So I'm guessing he's going to go probably in a league like that. If he was if he was draftable next year, where does he go? Top what? I mean, let's just say in normal. Yeah, let's just say in a normal
72
redraft.
players off the board.
Yeah.
Probably goes like 4th round at the latest.
Let's say in normal 1 QB leagues. Wide receiver, what do we think he goes in, like, let's just say dynasty.
In a dynasty startup?
Like wide receiver
7,
14?
I mean,
8, you think?
Yeah, I would say closer to 15 probably.
That's pretty wild.
That's good though.
And we don't know who his quarterback is.
Which is probably
Thomas will
better
be gone.
considering his options this year.
Will Thomas be gone?
Well, maybe not.
Even if
What's
he's
up with
not,
Thomas?
he won't be playing.
That's true. He hasn't played for the last 2 years.
Dang, it's such a bummer, dude. You see these guys like Hopkins fell off pretty quick. Not that he fell off. Who knows what would have happened with his suspension, but Michael Thomas. There's another big one I'm missing. Devontae Adams, he's all right. Who?
Never mind. I thought you were talking about the Saints receivers.
Oh, no, but yeah, dude. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Love to have you here, Zachy. Love busting your balls. Love when you bust mine.
Yeah, you do.
Which is usually the other Jason's, but he wasn't around. Boy, you guys love getting at each other. You know what's funny? Peek behind the curtain. When you guys banter, when you guys are really going for it, you guys trade off. Sometimes you'll hit me on DMs. I love fucking with Jason. And then he did it the last time. I love messing with Zachy. I don't know why you guys love being mean. You guys are just mean people. Playful.
It's all in fun.
I'm a lover.
It's all in fun.
It is. And you play rough. Jason's just young, little annoying, but I love him. Hey, what do you got on your face, Justin? I was happy to see that it was growing last week, but
it's gone.
You shaved it.
Yeah.
You shaved it.
Shaved it a couple days ago and it was kind of cold when I walked outside.
Hey, you're a good looking man. I just, with or without it. You're a little rape. You're a little.
I would argue more without it.
I think you're a better looking guy without it. What kind of shirt you got on today?
Standard old t-shirt.
That is not that's a bear. That's a beer.
It says beer.
Yeah, it's a beer and a deer.
Yeah.
God,
What?
What is this? So where do you get these shirts? What is it? Kohl's? Is this what's going on?
This is, I think, an Amazon shirt, probably. You ever seen?
So you were on Amazon and you were like, I'm gonna look for some shirts today. So you go to Amazon.
I've done that before, but this shirt, have you ever heard of the hit television series It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I have.
There's a character on that show who oftentimes wears this shirt.
All right.
And I was like, I'm gonna buy it, and I did. Not a very comfortable neck, though. I don't really wear it in public because the neckline is too tight.
What size did you buy?
Medium.
How tall are you?
Very short, 5'8".
Okay.
I wish I could fit into a medium again.
I wear mediums, but the neckline, I don't do tight necks.
Yeah, that is a pretty tight neck.
Yeah. But I figured it would work for tonight.
What size are you, Zach?
XL.
XL? How tall are you?
It's my belly.
XL in the belly,
Yeah.
medium in the shoulders. So what are we gonna do about that belly, Zach? I gotta put you on a steady dose of human growth hormone and testosterone injections, and I will whip you into shape real quick.
Bro, let me get some steroids.
It's a neat cocktail. Hey, dude, you know what? You shoot testosterone right in your butt. It is like steroids. I'm gonna let you know. You'll be fitting in larges real quick. I got a trade target guy, and my trade target guy was known before this game. I'm gonna tell you who my trade target guy is. Zach doesn't have one. Adrian's got one. Justin's got one. Mine's Taysom Hill. And listen, the stats, they're not sexy. His ranking, not sexy. He's only had 2 good games, and one of them was like super, super good. He should not be in your lineup. I'm just gonna say it. You shouldn't be starting him. If you didn't get a stud, you might want to look at him. But he's so boomy that I want to at least have him as an option for my starting roster. Since he can and will boom, we just don't know when it is. So really what we're looking at, guys, is bye weeks, right? With bye weeks. And if you don't have a stud, and who are the studs at tight end this year?
Kelsey.
Andrews.
That's it.
Andrews. And that's it, bro. Waller sucks.
Kittle sucks. I mean, they're always
Kittle
hurt.
sucks.
Hawkinson
Everett
sucks.
looks like a nice little pickup. Hawkinson hasn't been great. So there's so many in the league that I paid a second round pick for Mostert and Taysom Hill on a really competitive team. For me, it's my own second. I'm super stacked in that league. I love picking up a boom bust guy like Taysom, especially for bye weeks. I'm starting Taysom tonight in a league that I don't have Cup or Diggs. I believe that's who it was. Or Jefferson. Maybe that was the one. So I think Taysom Hill is super, super affordable, especially after a week like last week. The touchdown tonight didn't help, but I don't think he's done anything crazy tonight. But he lined up at wideout. Oh, he's already at 11 half PPR points. 2 completions for 48 yards, 3 carries for 9 yards, 1 receptions for 3 yards, and that 3-yarder was a touchdown. That's really what we're looking for. When we're excited about Gerald Everett, guys, I'm pretty pumped about Taysom Hill. That's who my buy is right now. I don't care if it's redraft, keeper, dynasty. The price will go accordingly. Maybe a little bit more expensive. Maybe it has to be a package in a redraft league, something like that. But Taysom Hill is my buy guy. Who you got, Adrian?
My buy guy is named Kyren Williams. Why?
Oh, and I don't know. I will say this for you. You named him prior to tonight's touchdown.
Is that the right guy? No.
Rams
talking about
Rams running back. Yeah.
My fault.
Not that Williams. Kyren Williams.
You're just putting that into the universe for Sunday.
Please,
Sunday.
God.
Yes. So why Kyren Williams? I don't know. I just like the name Kyren. Isn't that a cool name? Kyren.
It's all right.
Cool.
I bet he's white.
That's my guy. Next. No, just kidding. So he's my guy. Why? Because Akers is on the outs. He's getting a lot of hype, and we know who Henderson is. Henderson is not, I don't think, ever going to be the man, because he's had plenty of opportunity. So why not try Kyren Williams? Why not try to throw, a couple picks, or I don't know, can we get him for a third? Maybe not because of some hype that's coming on, but maybe throw a third or 2/3 at him, see if you can get him.
Would you deal a 2nd round pick for him and a 3rd back?
And a 3rd back?
So Kyren and a 3rd for your 2nd.
Oh. I would probably do that just because I've done dumber trades. And I've given,
Yeah.
but
Adrian,
if he,
how's Desmond Ritter doing for you this week?
who?
Who? Who?
That's a future pick.
Oh, okay.
You could talk about my Philip
Yeah.
Lindsay for
That
a
was
second.
perfect.
Yeah.
That was so
Philip-
good.
Philip Lindsay for a second. Ritter's gonna be the man soon. Trust me, but you know, if you get Kyron Williams for and a third for a second, and he goes off and he ends up turning out to be the man, hey, it's a steal.
But
If
you're probably burning
not,
that second.
If not, yeah, you take a chance of a second in the 16-team league. I mean,
Yeah,
your second
Yeah.
may not pan out anyways. So
you're
at
right.
least
In a
there's some
16-team
promise.
league,
Yeah, at least there's some promise. There's been some hype. Why not take a shot? I take a shot. You know,
yeah,
I'm a trader. You know, give me
yeah.
him. Let's go. So
You're a pretty stingy trader, though.
not generally.
If you have pretty generally, you start pretty Zacky. You start pretty Joey. Not Joe and Ash, but you'll start pretty stingy. You'll come back to the mean. But this is what I look at it like. Would I spend a second on Kyron in the rookie draft? And we didn't, but now he seems like he has an opportunity. He might be worth that. He might go in the second. In a 16-team league, probably for sure. 12-man league, which we usually play in, that'd be tricky. But
Usually, I
good
don't
bet.
usually play in 12-man leagues.
Yeah, we only have one.
You
12-man.
I'm a
don't.
16-team loyalist,
You shut it.
an NDL to the core.
No, but most of us are degenerates, especially if you're new. What happened?
Oh, Olave
Olave
dropped it.
dropped.
Oh, I'm hoping they put Taysom in as the quarterback. Why wouldn't they? Why aren't they having him over Dalton? What the hell? What are they looking to? Why not?
I don't want
Ooh,
them.
that might be a fumble, actually.
No, it wasn't.
Where's?
No, he didn't take any steps.
All right, so my guy.
So yes,
while
so
everyone
let's move on.
is distracted. My trade target for this week is Jamison Williams.
Good.
Very controversial take, I know.
Yeah,
He was going top 7 at the absolute worst in most rookie startups last year. But these kind of guys we've seen in the past, you'll have an opportunity to buy them when they kind of get forgotten about because we haven't seen them yet. Williams, he runs a sub 4.4. His acceleration is unmatched. The way he gets off the line, he gets upfield. His catch radius is big, and his hands are fast. You plug that into a high-powered offense. I mean, as gross
How
as the
about
Sanders
that?
lines
How
have
about
been
that
high-powered
statement?
this year.
Off
He's
in a
a-
high-powered offense.
hell yeah.
I know, but he's a
As
guy
he's
who,
known.
if you're contending, you might be able to get something out of him at the end of the year, as long as you don't need him the next 2 or 3 weeks. You want to trade your 2023 first for him, I think that's worth it. If you're rebuilding
Oh,
or retooling, and you have, a surplus of 2023 first, because everybody's been trying to stockpile him for this elite class. I think he's a guy you might want to get now on a rebuilding team and build around going forward for one of your extra 2023 firsts. He's
so do you have him as your wide receiver 1 out of this class?
he was the guy I was targeting on all of my non-contending teams, if that makes sense. I didn't think he was the most talented coming out. I liked Garrett Wilson.
Well, in our leagues, why, if you drafted him, would you give him up? He's gonna be on your taxi.
Right.
The 2023 first is quite
People forget
aggressive.
about him, but the 2023 first still holds value in people's minds because we've been talking about this draft class for so long. It might take more to get it. I think it's worth trying to get that.
I don't think it takes more to get him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give, I have him in one league. Unless it's a top pick, I wouldn't give him up.
Yeah, but it depends on the roster, right? Wide receivers there's just so many wide receivers that if you have a top, I don't even care what pick it is. If it's clearly 10 to 16, maybe it takes more. But if it's 4-2 team right now, with anything can happen by the end of the season, That's a very aggressive trade offer, I think, a 2023 first.
I remember in 32 AFC, he went stupid late.
Yeah, I have him.
What pick did you use to get him? Do you remember? Like 9?
Let me find it real fast.
And you guys have to remember, we're saying a 23 first. Zach is hesitant to do it, and he hasn't even played a snap.
Right. That's
Yeah.
why.
So I'm saying that's a very aggressive offer. If you're sending a 23 first to me for Jameson Williams, I don't
Yes.
care if he ends up being a top 12 wide receiver. I'm taking it. Period.
I got him at 10.
Yeah, that's. So
See, I
there's
agree.
leagues where he was falling that far,
I
where
agree with you, Jay.
2023 first
Amen,
is gonna be
brother.
enticing to a lot of owners, and to me, he's worth the gamble if you've got extras as in a rebuild, or if you want somebody who could come out at the end of the season and be a high-end wide receiver 3, maybe a low-end wide receiver 2, a flex option each week. That's possible.
Look at Jefferson. Jefferson is wide receiver 1, right? I don't know if he's wide receiver 1 on the season, but in Dynasty, he's wide receiver 1, right?
Right.
He still had 2 nasty duds. In NDL, if I got a 23 first for him, where we get quarter point per completion, why wouldn't I target the number 1 quarterback coming out of college with that 23 first, take him in the first round?
But
I
you're,
mean, that's
unless it's a high pick, you're not gonna get him.
no, I mean, look, where did you get Mahomes? Or you, because I genuinely don't remember. Where did
I got
Burrow go?
Mahomes at 11. No one
There
was
you
on
go.
Mahomes. No one was on Mahomes.
Okay.
Right.
How
That's
about
what
like
he's saying.
Kyler?
A top
Where did-
10 NFL pick quarterback can go as late as
Sure.
10.
There you go. And what about Kyler? Do we remember exactly?
Kyler went number 1,
He went
or-
101.
101 in most
Okay.
of the leagues.
What about
Andrew
like,
Luck went top 3 in every league.
okay, okay. Well, we do have a decent 3 right now quarterbacks coming out. Those aren't going to go 1, 2, 3. One of those are going to fall to 12. We have some running backs. It's going to be a different class than last year. I'm just saying there's so many wide receivers that a 23. Look at Justin. He's saying, hey, a 23 first will get it done. Or it could be depending on the roster. That means tons of people are going to be thinking the same thing. And he hasn't played a snap. I'm taking that 23 first real quick. And then praying he's going to be great, because shit's fun when they're great. And we're going to have some of them, in different
Win-win
leagues.
for
I have
everyone.
30 leagues.
Yeah.
I
If
think that's great.
If he turned out to be in a lobby, it's worth it.
Hey, well, look,
Yeah.
so who would you take over Jameson? So you're saying that it would cost more for London,
Yes.
and Garrett Wilson, do you have him still over Olave?
Yeah.
'Cause
He's
he looks very
shown,
good.
he's shown signs this year that he's still above him. I think Burks is below him for me. Olave's probably jumped him.
He said
Just-
below.
Not for me personally, but overall dynasty rankings.
Mhm.
So he's of this class, he's definitely behind Olave. He's definitely behind London.
Mhm.
Can I have both of those guys in 2 leagues?
And then he's behind Wilson. Outside of that, like I would take him over Burks. I would take him over Pickens, sorry. I would
Uh-huh.
take him over Moore. I'd take him over Watson.
Wow, and not seeing him at all.
I think it's also
He's got a
part
lot of
like,
talent.
if you've got a bad
does.
team and you've got multiple shots, like he's the guy with the kind of upside that is fun to try on, even if you've never seen him play before. It's a good hope to have.
Mhm. You're right. You're right. I mean, half PPR, it's going to be tougher. 2 wide receiver leagues, it's tougher. When we're talking 3 wide receiver leagues, I think that's money well spent, especially if it's full PPR, something like that. Yeah, good one. Hey, that ended up being a little bit more controversial than you thought. I like adding what you thought, it would cost. Hey, how's that puppy? Where's that puppy, bro?
Puppy's in bed.
Oh,
In bed.
Yeah.
Zach, we want to see your wiener.
So are you partial to, or is that a wiener dog?
Yeah.
Are you guys partial to those now, or did you guys just fall in love with them after your puppy
So,
that's in heaven?
my uncle had one and I always liked her. And then when Sarah was starting to have the baby talk, I'm like, oh, let's get a puppy instead.
How long did
Um,
that hold her off for? Oh,
3 years, 4 years.
oh, wow, good amount. It
But
worked.
she wanted a Yorkshire Terrier, a little Yorkie, but those are stupid expensive. Well, wiener dogs are stupid expensive now too, though. But
Purebred.
yeah,
Yeah.
she wanted a small dog. She doesn't like big dogs, so I found Peanut for $250 back then, which
Mhm.
was dirt cheap. And she fell in love with them, so we are pretty much only ever gonna own wiener dogs.
Mhm.
We're gonna get another one probably in February, March.
Nice. Not born yet,
Nice.
or like you're on
It would not be
standby?
born yet.
Oh, nice.
You're gonna go double
Well, good for you.
penetration with the wieners.
Oh, DP.
Yeah.
How do you like DP, like in general, Zach? Like what do you like, personal preference?
Never, never
No?
done that.
Yep. Okay. Well, hey, dude. Well, much love to you guys. I know it's tough losing one, but it'll be good. Why did you decide to get two this time when you had one for so long by itself?
Well, we'd always kind of thought about getting a second one, but then we had young kids and,
Uh-huh.
just training a puppy she's been way more difficult than Peanut was so far.
Oh, and it's a girl. Usually girls are a little easier than boys,
So
generally.
Zach, is the plan here to train this one and then get the next one once this one's already pretty trained, so you don't have to do
Yeah.
two at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
Was that the plan? Instead of just trying to train two at a time?
Well, money situation too. Like
Mm.
the vet bills and then getting her basically depleted our savings.
Mhm.
So
Dude, vet bills, bro. It's criminally high. I don't quite understand why they have to charge so much, because they know we're gonna pay anything.
That's
But
why. You just answered.
well, I mean,
yeah, I said it. Yeah, I heard it.
it was more of the fact that we took her every day to get fluids. So they were giving her IV every day.
Mm.
Oh, Peanut.
Yeah, trying to get her, get her kidney numbers down and flush them a little bit, but it didn't help. It was just old age.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, man. That's never easy. At least you're a Chiefs fan, and they're very good. And I'm a Raiders fan, and fuck. God, I'm an Eagles fan.
No,
I'm
you're
every
not.
other
Shut your
fan.
mouth.
Go Birds.
Dang it. What's it like to just have Mahomes as your quarterback? What does that feel like? Just tell me.
Amazing. I
Better than
mean,
DP.
honestly, sorry, Adrian, for bringing up bad history here, but that playoff game against Houston, my best friend was over watching the game together, 28-0. And I look over, I'm like, we have Mahomes. This game is not over. That's what it's like being 28-0.
What 28-0 at what time in the game?
It was in the,
Half, was it half?
well, it was 28-3 at half. I think it was
God,
what it was. But I
Before to
think it was
24-3.
28-0 in the first quarter or
Hmm.
early in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's rough. That's not fun. Yeah, to have that, to look over at 28-3 again with Atlanta and New England. That's, at least it wasn't the Super Bowl, Adrian. What if we both become Chiefs fans?
This world would be much better
Yeah.
off with that.
Probably would. All right, who's going first? Who wants to break it down? What we're going to do is we're going to kind of run through these leagues. We all kind of did it a little bit differently, kind of what we saw in each league as we kind of get midway into the season. We're going to we might mix it up a little bit as we start seeing what's going on in each league, who's trailing, who's lagging, who's pushing for 101 in the rookie draft, who's pushing for playoffs. We'll kind of show what we see if you guys have any suggestions of what you're looking for in content, let us know. We can dive in a little deeper on different, God, it's long. Jeepers. So yeah, just let us know if you want to hear something. We'd be happy to accommodate and dig into a different kind of angle. For right now, we're going to go through each league. Zach has 32. Justin has NFL. Adrian's going to kick it off right now, followed by Justin, then Zach. But right now, go ahead and kick off GA. Adrian, tell us what you saw from either, I did a little bit of last week, a little bit of coming up, but what did you do when you were looking at GA? Again,
So-
GA, sorry, it's 16 team, full PPR, 1 QB, non-tight end premium. How can we get an update on the game?
34 to 7, or 28 to 17.
Yeah, they
But,
overturned the touchdown.
Okay. 28, 17.
Are we sharing the screen or no?
17. Do I do that?
Yes.
I do. I do not know how to do that.
And there's a green button at the bottom that says share screen, and we'll be able to see what you see. So just click on the league we're talking about and move along.
Do I hit desktop 1?
Sure.
Probably.
Do you have more than one screen?
No.
Then yeah.
Okay. So we're in GA. Where do you want me to go, brother?
The standings.
Standings. Word. Okay, so league
Word.
standings. I'm gonna do a little desktop share opens. Okay. How about you start?
Or I can share, it doesn't matter.
Do you know how to
Possibly.
share?
Yeah.
Okay. I am not familiar.
Let's see. Oh, nope. I'm disabled. But so you
How
have to
can
do
I
it. So
enable? One participant can share, multiple participants can share simultaneously. Let's see if
see if that worked.
yeah.
Yes, it has. Very good.
Oh,
All right.
I'm
let's-
just very
let's do it.
techie.
Let's do this. Let me know if you can see it.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Right on. Okay, so this is GA. So we're gonna look at the NFC first. So every NFC division has pretty much a comfortable lead and almost undefeated. Braxton is the only one that's not undefeated, but we have each division leader is undefeated. So we have the Lions and Casey Jones at 8-0. We have Jason W at 8-0. We have Jason K at 8-0, and then Braxton is 7-1. So leaders have a comfortable lead. And then as I see it, we have 5 teams that have a shot at wild card still based on points for. So in the NFC North, we have Nate in Chicago at 3-5 with 694 points for. He has a shot for the wild card, even at 3-5. We have in the NFC South, we have Roy and the Saints. They're at 4-4 with a points for of 661. NFC East has 2. We have Cole and the Giants at 4-4 with a points for of 619, and Tom and the Cowboys at 3-5, but he has a higher PF at 763, so he still has a shot at a wild card as well. NFC West, really only one shot, even though I would like to think that I have a chance.
No, you don't.
No, not gonna happen. But it's Mache, and the Cardinals with the points for at 706, who did not want to trade with me. I tried to give him a piece, but no, he didn't want to trade. But
Dude, the NFC is very weird, huh?
it is very weird.
The
Yeah.
leaders are far, far above the. Wow,
Yes.
that is
I
bizarre.
wouldn't call though 2 games in the West a comfortable lead.
No,
But the others are.
but
Yes,
if you
the
look at
others are by far very
Yeah.
comfortable.
if you look at the points
So that
for,
one-
he's pretty comfortable because at 706, and the next one is 583. I think
Who's
he's
he play
pretty,
though? Does he play either Jason or Casey? Like he could run into a couple of really tough games and, you know,
it's still almost, it's over 100 points.
I
for him.
no, I
That's-
get
that's a
that.
lot.
But
Yeah.
I would,
schedule,
the exception still very much proves the rule that the NFC is, that is, it's quite bizarre for only the NFC West, one of 4 divisions, to have even one that has 2 that we're saying they're close, which 2 games out isn't bad. But when you then take a look at Braxton's team, you're gonna think, oh, it's not that close. He's got a really solid team. I'm not
Yeah.
sure how Arizona's is. Is Arizona Mache?
Yeah, that's Mache.
Okay.
And
I
he's
can't
pretty
remember,
decent.
but
He's stacked at
I think he's-
receivers.
You're right. He's
Um,
got a good team too.
Yeah, so he doesn't have much of running back except for Najee, who's not doing anything. But, but you know, each division leader has pretty much it sold. I mean, I think at the top. I don't think anybody
think
else is
so.
gonna catch him. I'm just talking about kind of wild card. You know,
Right.
who I think can
Yeah.
make the wild card, and
Yeah.
who should be pushing for the wild card. So, I mean, if you need to add a piece, add a piece. I'm here for you.
Hey,
So
are you rebuilding?
I'm building
Adrian?
better, building back
You're
better.
built. Hey, let's not. We're red. Okay. So you're rebuilding, and then also you're rebuilding, aren't you, Justin?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
Hey, you
God,
guys
yeah,
should
my
hit up
team.
Braxton. I bet you
On that
can-
1-1.
I bet you
Braxton,
guys
I
can
traded
get
already this
Hollywood.
year. Yeah, I gave him Hollywood already.
I bet you could get him back.
Right, because
Yeah.
he's on IR. Yep.
He tried to get Hollywood for me for 2 weeks. I kept telling him, no, I love Hollywood for the future.
Oh my
I
God,
wore me
that's
down.
amazing.
Would be funny if I got him back.
Dude, remember when I traded DJ Moore, Javonte Williams in a second for Justin Jefferson in NFL?
That worked out well for you.
That was Braxton too. So he ended up doing that. Javonte went down and he sent me the exact same trade back. And I declined it right away. 2 days later, he sent it again, the same exact one. I said, why would I? And then Hollywood goes down right after he trades away. Who did he trade away? Deontay Johnson?
Yeah.
Bro, I bet you can get Hollywood back at a nice premium.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would go after him, guys.
All
I
right.
mean, Hollywood's only out 6 weeks. So he's back for a playoff run. And if you're going to make the playoffs, which he will, I don't know so much.
Yeah, but this is tough. You know, these start, you know, just how do we start 8? Start 8 in GA. It's tough being without a Hollywood, but
It is.
he's on IR.
How many teams make the wild card?
6,
That's one.
or sorry,
Yeah.
2 teams. It's 6
Two teams. Okay.
playoff
6
teams.
total,
It's
okay.
the old
Yeah.
NFL style.
So a lot of these
Okay.
people that are in the middle have a chance. So they have a chance to make the
This
wild
week
card.
and next week will really set these teams that are right in that mix apart though.
No, I agree. So NFC has the NFC high points is Jason at 958 and almost by 150 points. So he's
Jason K.
looking Jason K.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's destroying everyone.
Now AFC is a lot closer with teams competing in the division leads still. So AFC West is all but decided with Tony and the Chargers undefeated at 8-0. I think he's pretty solid at winning that division. But AFC North is up in the air. Everybody has a shot. Wes and Pittsburgh and James and Cincinnati are tied at 6-2. But James has a higher points for at 772 compared to 688. Ash and the Browns and Jake and Baltimore are both 4-4 and still have a shot at the division with help and possibly a wild card as their points for are close to Wes's.
One
So
of those two will get a wild card.
yeah. AFC South has Dan and the Texans in the lead at 6-2 with the rest of the division looking at wild card possibilities. Tim and the Colts, Brian and the Titans are knotted at 4-4, and Mike still has a sneaky way into the wild card spot with a 676.4 at 3-5. Yes. Stop looking at me that way. It is possible. It is possible. AFC East. Not sure what's going on in this division. Everybody has a shot.
Oh
Well,
my
except
God.
maybe
It's a
Renee
train
and the
wreck.
Bills.
What
Yeah, except for Renee,
happened?
who's on a fire sale mode. But Mitch, New England,
It's fun
Ryan
to
and the
see Renee.
Dolphins, and Joe and the Jets all sharing 3-5 record. There is still a chance for someone.
And none of them seem to want to make moves, which blows my
No.
mind.
Exactly. And
And
look
What
Joe
is
can't
that?
really
What
make a
is-
move because Joe has no draft picks
Mhm.
to try to make a move.
and look at the points for in all three of them. They're all 3-5. Mitch has what, 588? And then we have,
But look at his points against.
Oh,
Yes.
that's Pickle?
yes,
Yep.
that's
He's
a
he's
pickle.
playing the weakest
He's-
schedule in the league.
he
Oh,
is the
second
cutest.
weakest.
It's called
Because
defense.
Jason's playing the weakest schedule, Jason W.
How dare you?
Oh,
No,
thank
Jason
God,
W.
I was starting, oh, dude, thank God I had the weakest schedule. Look at my PA, 510. I was without Dak and never traded, and they have DJ Moore, sweet God.
Yeah.
But my PF's nice. Let's at least talk about my PF if we're gonna downplay me.
But AFC, since we're talking about the AFC West, unless there's some big changes, not sure the wild card comes from this division.
I'm not trying for it, so.
But
Are
High
you making any
Points-
trades, Zach?
Yeah, I did make a trade here
Good.
recently. I traded away
Nice.
Rogers and Mills for Baker, which I dropped. And Olave and a first.
Oh, yeah, that's
then I
right. That
gave
was
up-
just,
That was a huge
Great.
trade. There's some other pieces in it, but
yeah. I guess we'll talk about it, huh?
Yeah, I think we'll talk about trades, right?
Okay.
Maybe.
If
So
you,
High
if you
Points-
do.
High Points, AFC goes to Tony and the Chargers at 884 by about 111 points. So there are 4 trades, all by AFC. NFC, come on, man. Get some
I
trades done.
know,
Gee,
I'm hanging on by a thread.
man,
I
Get some
know, I
trades done.
apologize. I
I'm trying.
apologize for all of us.
Believe me, I'm
Hey,
trying.
you're in it too. You're in it. We're all in it. All 3 of us are in it except for Zach.
Okay, so look at these trades. Beautiful, beautiful trade. So we just had a recent trade today, even. We had Renee give up Robert Tunyon for Isaiah Spiller from James Martin. So that was James is competing. Renee is not. I don't know. With the
Mhm.
3 and 5, I mean, I think she could have done something. But she's selling, so good for you, James. Getting a tight end. That should help you out. Then we had Mitch give up Keenan Allen, Dawson Knox, 2023 second round pick, and a 2024 first round pick for JD McKissick, Corey Davis, Michael Gallup, Mo Alley Cox, and a 2023 third round pick from Renee. Not understanding this one at all.
yeah, I
Wait,
don't like this
what?
trade.
Mitch, you're
Yeah.
a good dude, but yucky.
Wait a second. What the fuck?
I essentially see this as a trade because Keenan Allen's been hurt and he needs wide receivers.
Yeah, but
So he
also-
traded
that
Keenan
Mitch?
Allen in a first for Corey Davis and Gallup.
Yeah, it's yucky. And Dawson Knox, who's better than Mo Alley Cox.
Wait,
Yeah.
Yeah,
wait a second. Was this
And he's in the
Pickle?
division lead right now.
yes, this pickle.
Oh my God.
No wonder why he didn't show up tonight. Right.
Wait,
I know.
he
I
traded
this
to
is
Keenan
this is
Allen
bullcrap
a
'cause
second and
he
a
didn't-
first?
he didn't let me hear the end of it for my bad trade a couple weeks ago, and then he dodges it tonight.
Which blows my mind because you
Oh.
guys gave me so much shit for my trade.
I didn't even see this one, if I'm being honest.
No, I didn't. I said
This
it was
is-
fine. I
This
said it
is
was
as
good.
bad, if not worse, than yours, which we'll get to.
Yeah. So then we got
I
Zach.
didn't- Yeah.
Zach making a trade. He gave up Jordan Love, Davis Mills, Aaron Rodgers, Tyler Boyd, Mike Evans, and a 2023 second for Baker Mayfield, PJ Walker, Devin Singletary, and Chris Olave,
I mean, let's
So
be
pretty
real.
much-
I gave all
you
that
just
up for
wanted Olave,
Olave and a
pretty
first.
much,
Yeah.
in a second. Oh,
So
yeah.
who is
Olave and a first? That's
Tim's?
pretty strong.
Who's
for one-
Tim's quarterback? Who was it?
He
Just Baker?
he had Baker Mayfield and PJ Walker and Winston.
And Winston, yeah.
And Mills.
So
I gave him
Aaron
Mills.
Rodgers.
He has
Tyler
Mills and
Boyd.
Rogers now. He got more depth at wide receiver, which he desperately needed.
Why didn't he just
Why didn't-
trade? Why didn't he just get Aaron Rodgers for a first? Or what?
Right.
What did wait? Did you get a first?
Zach wanted
no,
to love it.
Why didn't you just? Oh,
That's ugly.
first. That is. You know what? I don't
trade,
like
Zach.
it anymore.
Good trade.
Not
That's-
only are you giving up Olave, but you're giving up a 2023 first in a 1 quarterback league
I would have
or a
taken
3 quarterback for what, 2
He's trying to
quarterbacks?
win now. Like, you can't fault a
Rodgers
guy
stinks.
for.
We're trying to remember that Rodgers is not who he is anymore,
Oh.
but
Oh, we
I do
fault
like
him.
push your chips and try to win. Good job, Tim. I like it.
All
I
You
don't
right,
like
do
the trade,
not.
but I like the ambition.
You don't.
I like the ambition.
And I'm gonna say this again. Joe has made a lot of trades like this where he's on what I would call the losing side. And the years that he did that, like I called him a moron multiple times, and he
Mhm.
won back-to-back Super Bowls during that time period where he made a bunch of these trades that just looked terrible on paper.
Huh?
You have to lose some trades to be successful. I believe that.
what
I don't know if
is
Aaron
that?
Rodgers goes past this year.
I don't
What
either.
does that
But if you win
mean?
this year, why does it matter? Like,
At
Agreed.
4
Oh,
and
he'll
4,
play.
4 and 4.
He'll
Yeah,
play.
I
he's
think he'll
just-
play. I just think he's bad.
Yeah.
I think we've seen the end of
He's
elite Aaron Rodgers.
who's
He's
he
not
throwing
bad.
to?
Yeah, he's
Who's
not
he
bad. He
throwing?
just doesn't have help.
He doesn't. How's his O line? I don't know why he's not passing to his running backs or running the ball more. I don't. His O line must be bad. I haven't followed him, but Lazard, rookies,
Lazard's
Yeah.
good.
he's fine. He's
Yeah,
fine.
he's not a wide receiver one, but he's been good on the year.
Because
He's
he's the only
fine.
one that he can throw to.
But in
But
what
He's like an
My question
LA
is-
3.
in what world do we see his wide receiver situation getting better?
Well, he can't. I mean, in the draft, they
Yeah.
can. They can
Yeah, so I
trade
don't-
for one.
So I'm saying for
Offseason.
this year, I think Rodgers is bad because he's got who he's got.
Oh,
That doesn't matter. That's a
Well,
different discussion.
you're right. Okay.
Getting a little nauseous over this trade, so let's move on.
Olave rules.
So next we got,
Arizona is destroying the Saints.
look how
Good
busy
picture.
Renee has been. Renee has been busy.
Hey, good
She's
for
been
her,
selling
dude.
it
That's
too, right?
awesome. I love
this was
it.
a good trade for Ryan.
She gave up Brady and a
Mm.
2023 second pick for Russell Wilson. So I guess Ryan might be on the winning now. I don't know, 3 and 5.
That's trying to make the playoffs. That
Yeah. That's that awful division where everyone's
Yeah.
25.
Yeah. It's not bad, but Brady, I mean, it's a 1-year rental, maybe.
She
Oh.
had to get rid of him. He had a high
Yeah.
salary.
Yeah. And then next we
This
got,
isn't. Sorry, this
Go
isn't
ahead.
the worst. This isn't.
no,
So that's the kind
Dangerous.
of trade I
This
like
isn't-
where
But
Renee's building, she gets Russell Wilson, who might be good for a few years.
he's gonna be good.
And then
He's too good.
It's
Carmen
good,
gets
but
a
is
better
he, or was
quarterback
he a-
this year.
product of the
We'll
system.
find out. We'll find out. You can't just do what he did with good coaching. You've got to go out there with talent.
But
I
he's
mean,
also-
he never had a. I mean, was his offensive line amazing? He had a nice run game. He
They had
good
amazing
defense.
defenses.
Yeah.
He's not done anything since Legion of Boom.
Yeah, Wilson's also been
Yeah,
kind
but-
of bad the last couple of years. We kind of
That's what I'm saying. He
they're the
hasn't
same
done
thing hurt.
anything since the Legion of Boom.
But it wasn't like he was bad each year, all year.
Yeah.
He was
No, he
on
was-
fire for 6-7 games, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
he got hurt, or he this, or they wanted to. They've always really wanted to run the ball, right? They want to. They need to. They didn't not put up points. They would put up points. The defense wasn't putting up points always, although they did put up some points when the boom was out. But he's good.
he's
He's
getting
gotta
better.
get-
I
he's
think
gotta
he's
get
getting
it
better
together.
each week. Yeah, each week he's getting better. Once he gets familiar with, I think, the system and everything, I think
Yeah.
he'll be fine.
I think so.
So last we have Ash giving up James Ritchie, a 2023 first round pick and a 2023 third round pick for Rashad Bateman. I mean, that's
Wow.
seeing Ash's trades coming to me. Why don't you send me that stuff, Ash? Instead of
So he gave
bench
up-
players and nothing.
Where does Richie come in at that point? At what point in the conversation you're like, you know
Probably-
what? Listen, You throw
Salary.
in Richie and I'm on it.
It was probably salary. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
Is that like a player
he's
minimum?
he's basically
Yeah.
at the cap.
Yeah, and probably just had to get rid of one guy instead of dropping them, say, hey, I'll throw this person in. But Ash, you need to send
Okay,
me
that
these
makes
type of
sense.
trade offers more. And you'll
So
get
what
more
about
day
that?
ups done.
You guys send a first for Bateman?
I would take that first and the third for Bateman, yeah.
If I was contending, I
I
would
would
send a
too.
very late first, probably, but it's a bit rich.
Did he win this league last year? Is this the one he won? Did he win
No,
2 of them?
32.
Oh, he won
Jason
32.
won this last year.
I thought he was rebuilding in this league.
He has
Oh,
Mahomes.
the
He's not
Jets
rebuilding.
first.
Yeah.
Click on his team. Oh,
He's got Mahomes. He's 4 and
Yeah.
4.
oh yeah,
So-
okay.
Mahomes,
So-
Dalvin.
That team should have been better, huh? Oh, he's got
Yep.
JMO too.
Kyle
Elijah Moore
Pitts.
on
He
McAfee.
Waller and
Ooh,
Pitts, which haven't lived up to expectations this year.
God, what is happening with Pitts? I don't think the
don't
is the
pass.
quarterback play.
Yes,
Is that
it's
what it
because he's
is?
running too much.
But he's blocking, I thought.
Yeah, I don't know.
God, that's
If
gross.
Ritter was in there, he'd be doing a lot better.
Yeah. Sell it, brother. All right,
right.
Justin.
Where are we going?
NFL League.
NFL.
NFL.
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. You want the standings too?
Yes, please.
Right on. Let's go.
Are
All
we
right, I kinda
liking
did the
Bateman
same.
still? Are we?
Sorry?
We're liking Bateman still, right?
Yeah.
We're still
Yeah.
high on Bateman, right?
Yeah, he's been hurt a couple weeks. He's good and he played.
All right. All right.
All right, so we're gonna start in the AFC on this side. I kind of did the same as Adrian did, looking at the divisions and the wild card races. So in the AFC North, we've got the Bengals at 5-3. The hell? Sorry, I thought I wrote down their names, but I didn't on the AFC side.
Just
If you-
hover over
All
it.
good.
Hover over it.
8.
So we got Nate and the Bengals at 5-3. Earl is the Steelers, I believe, at 4-4. The Ravens is Todd, also at 3-5, and then Jason K at 2-6. So honestly, there's 3 teams kind of still in this one. Bengals have a nice control with the 1 game lead over everybody else, but 3-5 is doable to catch up to it, especially playing each other one more time during the year. In the AFC South, it's not so close. Adrian, you're on top of it at 6-2. The Titans and Rizzo are at 3-5. Jim and the Texans are at 2-6, and Troy, sorry, I can't read, is 1-7 with the Colts. The AFC East, we've got Carmen sitting at 6-2, tied for top of the division with Braxton also at 6-2. This division is probably the best one on the AFC. Well, that's not true. The AFC West might be a little bit better, but Jason W, you're right there behind him at 5-3, and then Jeremy's just way back at 1-7.
Which click on his team.
He won't trade me at all.
He won't
Oh
trade
my
I like
Derrick
So many
Henry.
bucks.
He
Oh
won't
my
trade
God.
Christian McCaffrey.
thoughts.
He picked up Zappy when he didn't need to. Like, he's making moves to win.
And guess
If
what?
you look at his potential points, right now, he's the 10th best scorer potential point wise in the league. He's going to get the worst possible draft pick he can have
Good news, Zach.
I don't-
and
He
not
does
make the
not own his own
playoffs.
first.
Huh?
He does not own his first.
And that's
thought
why
he
he's
did.
competing.
No, I looked through all of them earlier. But he should sell.
Oh,
Henry
you missed
McCaffrey
that,
and try
Zach.
and
See,
get
you
first
could have
back.
you could have not harassed him this whole time.
Well,
Hold
you
on.
do that.
No, I'm almost positive he has his first.
he should be trying to get a first for McCaffrey and or Henry though, given his team.
He should go after his first and do whatever it takes to get
Well,
it.
no, because his first is terrible.
Tell you right now.
It won't be if he goes
He
for
doesn't
it.
even, he doesn't have a first.
Yeah,
When did he
Oh,
trade that?
Zach, all
So
this
that's why he
time
doesn't
you-
care.
you
That's why
harassed
he
him.
doesn't care.
I went through everybody's first and second round so we could see their assets, what they had to trade. We'll talk about when we get to the wild card spot.
Holy crap, what did I do?
While Adrian fixes it, the AFC West is probably our tightest division. Joe's on top at 6-2. Tied with him is Zach, also at 6-2. The Broncos are right behind at 5-3, owned by John Lake, and then 3-5 for Cole. If you look at that side, Joe's in first, probably by tiebreaker head to head, but he's got the lowest points for. Zach is at 674, which I believe is the most in the division. So we're all cheering for you to keep having bad luck. If we want to look at the wild card on the AFC side before we hop over,
You mean most in the league?
is it the whole league? I know he's the
Yeah.
AFC side at least. Pretty good.
Yeah, most in the whole league.
So-
Jason, I think, is in second. For the
Yeah,
whole
Jason
league.
Boone, yeah. And he didn't start Josh Allen week 1 because he didn't have everything fixed. But anyway,
No,
we
Jason,
got-
Jason W.
oh, Jason
Yeah.
W.
Yeah,
We
he's
got-
at 671 points for.
We got first, second, and third on this pod. What's up with that? What? Not in the whole league, but
Pretty good.
in at least AFC.
So for the wild card spots, 2 teams make it. The Chiefs and Patriots currently are both at 6-2, holding down those 2 spots. While the Broncos and Bills are both at 5-3, well within striking distance. And the Steelers are 4-4. Outside shots, Raiders and Ravens at 3-5, but less likely. So at that point, you're probably looking to sell your assets. I was going through and I was looking at everybody's what they have available to them to trade and to trade for. The most interesting thing I found was the Bengals. If you want to look at them again, you'll click their team for me. So they're sitting top of their division. You know, they got some nice pieces. Obviously, a pretty good team, but they also own 2 firsts and 2 seconds in the 2023 draft. That's a lot of capital to go out and do something. You can make a move and you still got stuff left over. All right, Adrian, come on, you horny man. When you're owning multiple first and you're on top of your division, your points for isn't great, but if you get into the playoffs, that doesn't really matter anymore because it's so volatile. Use those assets and do something good with them. That's my opinion. Adrian, you don't have any first because you never do, but you have 3 seconds.
On this league,
Yep. Zach, you got your first and 2 seconds. That's also pretty good. You're sitting pretty if you need it. And then
And I've tried to use them.
yeah, I did a little math. The AFC, the mean in the AFC is 555 points scored. So if you're above that, congratulations, you're better than the average. If you're below it, look to next year probably. On the NFC side, the NFC North, Dan and the Lions are at 6-2. Tom and the Vikings are 5-3. Brandon and the Bears at 3-5, and Kevin and the Packers are 1-7. This one's kind of a 2-team race with the Lions and Vikings sitting at the top. Bears have an outside shot at the playoffs or at the wild card because the NFC in this league is so congested. The NFC South, Buccaneers are 7-1 with their clear path. Saints are 4-4, Falcons are 4-4, Panthers are 3-5. Every single team in this division is good. Roy actually has the most. He's like the 3rd most point scorer in the division, but he's sitting at 3-5, which is just a major bummer. But that's fantasy football, I guess. The NFC East, my Eagles are at 6-2. John's Cowboys are 5-3. Wes's Giants are at 5-3, and Ryan's Commanders are at 3-5. And then the NFC West, Renee's sitting at 5-3. Ash is at 3-5. Nick is at 2-6, and Tony is at 2-6. So as far as the wild card race goes for the NFC side, it's going to get very interesting over the next couple of weeks. There's 3 teams tied at 5-3, 2 teams at 4-4, and the 3 teams at 3-5. And I think realistically, all 8 of those teams have a chance to make it, depending on how the next few weeks go. So a lot more fun than some of
It's
those
gonna be
other
a lot
divisions.
harder for the Falcons unless he wins by record outright, just because of his conference record currently.
Right, because tiebreakers.
Yeah.
That's good to look at because I did not even look at it.
It's kind of nice having Zach here because he
Right.
knows logistics so well and he sees things differently.
All right,
The
Zach.
more
so
analytical.
Just looking not at people's teams on the NFC side, pick your 2 wild cards from the NFC. Just looking at tiebreakers and points and whatever.
It's impossible to look at tiebreakers just because I have to look at the schedules, but,
Right. Gut reaction based off points for.
it's gonna be Vikings. And
Go ahead and say me. West can win the division. Just get me in.
You're gonna win the division.
I don't know. I lost last week to the Bears. And that was brutal.
Well, you drop a game every once in a while sometimes. I'm gonna go, Saints and Vikings.
All right. You heard it here.
Hey, how about this?
I just think
Ho-
it's potential for so many that East, you guys just beat each other up
Yeah, very
there
true.
at the end.
So Saints, Mike, you own your first and second. Go out, make a move to prove Zach right. Tom, the Vikings, you own nothing because you traded all your picks, but keep holding serve. Except this week because we're playing actually, so feel free to lose.
You have trade.
As far as the NFC goes in draft picks, the Rams, they own 3 firsts and 4 seconds next year. So that's cool. This is where I would probably try and go out if you're rebuilding and get a Hollywood Brown type, get a Jameson Williams type, because you're not going to have all that taxi room anyway. So may as well do something with them now as
A
well.
Javonte Williams, maybe?
Yep, a Javonte Williams.
I've been seeing him going for a first.
So we can look at the trades. There were a few. If you'll go back actually 10 days, because I missed a couple trades last week and got chirped for it.
Got bashed.
Make it 14 days, I guess. I had one British man in my DMs getting mad about not talking about his trades.
No, it must have been,
You guys didn't have a pod last week, so this was,
Yeah, we just.
We did.
yeah, but we didn't do trades. I don't think.
I think we touched on them, but probably 17 days. Oh,
Whoa.
Uh-huh.
yeah. Let's start from here, I guess. We talked about the Gallup and Hardman trade. I remember that one. So we'll start right above that with Packers and Seahawks. So Ash gave up Devin Singletary and Quez Watkins and received Cam Akers. I believe that was before the news that he was being traded.
yes.
So
Wow.
to me, that's a whatever. It's a higher
Hey,
upside I guess,
Devin-
for getting Akers.
Devin Singletary's been quite good.
Yeah.
But you're not.
Yeah, but what
excited
happens
about
if they go and
forward.
get CMC?
Yeah.
Well,
they won't.
CMC is going to mess everything up for whatever team he goes to.
Oh, God, I'd love him on the Chiefs.
Oh my God, me
I don't
too.
want him. Can't afford him.
I just give me a 1-year rental on him.
Fair.
Oh, that would be. Oh my God.
Hey,
that
let,
would be
let
wild.
another team win. You had your championship. Let somebody else
Uh,
win.
We gotta
Ew.
pass Brady.
It would be nice to see Buffalo get the Lombardi. That would be. I love that fan base.
Would
What else do they have to
Buffalo's-
root for in Buffalo?
And
Nothing.
Would Buffalo
they're,
Philly be the most chaotic Super Bowl of all time as far as fan experience
God.
goes?
Oh, dude, that has got to be a.
There will be a
the
lot of
most
fights.
spirited.
A lot of
It'd
fights.
be awesome. I would love it. I wouldn't go because
What
I would
if-
get punched in the face, but it'd be awesome.
Yeah, but it's like that's when you get in a fight and then you're just bleeding, you're beat up, and then you just like chest bump the dude later.
Yeah, no,
you know,
you-
I mean, I
You pull 2 beers out of the cooler and you sit down and drink after.
Yeah, but
think so.
I think the weather in Buffalo is probably more brutal than any other place.
Definitely.
So I mean,
I'd say.
that has to be diehard fans
Mhm.
to suffer in that cold.
More brutal
so
than Green Bay.
Awesome.
I think so.
I think so.
Oh, I
The
think so.
Yeah.
pure accumulation of snow in Buffalo is unreal. All right, let's get to the rest of these trades because we're running the NFL is running a bit long. Me and Wes traded. This is right after the Javonte injury. Wes gave up Melvin Gordon and received Robert Tonyan, a third and a fourth in return. He had no tight ends. I needed running back help because Patterson just got hurt. That's pretty much it.
You still
That's
need running
solid.
back help.
Still need running back
Yeah.
help. Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see.
Well-
He's claimed to be the starter this week.
Yeah, I thought Melvin Gordon was going to play when I traded for him, so that was my mistake.
That's a super chill return. I mean,
Yeah,
you
it's
paid
a no.
nothing.
Though, a little behind the curtain. Had I not made that trade, I would have won last week because
Oh,
Tonyan scored
Tonyan.
enough.
you would have played.
Friarmuth
He
without
did
concussion, I
score.
would have played Tonyan and I would have won, but that's not important.
Oh, that's the only thing that's
Score
important.
update 41-24
Ooh,
Oh, who
Arizona.
ended up scoring? Tony
Arizona.
Benjamin.
they
Tony
run out of
Benjamin
ball in.
scored.
They need
It
to
was
Did
score.
Benjamin
26.
score? Please
26.
just tell me it was Benjamin.
It was 26. You know,
Need Connor back in. We need Connor to get healthy.
You're right.
Who was it?
It was Zeno.
It was Eno?
It's Benjamin, yeah.
Oh, sweet Lord in heaven.
He should not have scored on
Praise
that.
Jesus.
All right.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
Wes made another trade for another tight end. He gave up a second for
Oh.
Zach Ertz and a third.
Fuck.
Again, needed tight end help. I love that trade for Wes. I think Ertz is solid the rest of the year, especially
Yeah.
probably hurt now.
That's a
I
good
do
trade.
too. I do. I think so too.
So, Dolphins gave up a 2023 second for Cordarrelle Patterson. I
Gross.
think you're pushing for the playoffs. That's fine because it's probably a late second, and Patterson will be good when he comes back because he was good before he left.
Sure hope so. IR is not fun.
He's trying to
Yeah.
get me to give him 2 seconds for for Henderson.
Oh,
Redskins give up Ryan Tannehill, Michael Thomas, and the Panthers defense in return for Aaron Rodgers and the Lions. My thoughts on Aaron Rodgers are clear, but that's not terrible because Michael Thomas never plays, so who cares?
When he could have got a Olave in a first.
Yeah, true. Bad return, Renee. Should have held on tight.
geez.
Cole gave up Tyler Conklin to Jason in return for Isaiah Pacheco and Hunter Henry.
Checo.
Pacheco.
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 Yeah, so I said Pacheco.
Yeah, that's a pretty gross trade for Jason.
Yeah, I think he was desperate trying to keep his playoff hopes alive, and it,
And then Hunter Henry scored.
yeah, which is very funny.
Yeah.
The final trade of the week.
Checo.
Ash gave up Lance McCutcheon, everyone's favorite player, Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and a third for Eno Benjamin, Donta Foreman, and 49ers defense. He had no running backs with Taylor out, and didn't work for him last week, but I hope he started.
It's working for him now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just love how Ash just throws in these no-name players.
Right, like
I
just
know.
just over the end.
He's so
I'm
notorious
like,
for
dude, they're gonna sit on my bench
it.
or dropped. So
All right,
nice.
that's the
Drop.
NFL.
where are we going next?
Sweet. Let's go to Zach, and I will round it out with JB. Let's go to 32 with Zach.
Right on.
All right. Starting out in the AFC, we've got Cole at 5-3 in the division lead in the North. I think he's got a pretty good clear hold on this league, even though he's only 2 games ahead. He is 3-0 in the division, 4-2 in the conference, with almost 100 more points scored than Cleveland and 125 more than Jake, which I don't think Jake's not competing by any means. Then we've got Renee in first at 5-3, and Jason in second at 5-3.
Mhm.
Renee's got the head-to-head right now, which is why she's in the lead. But she's scoring almost 100 points less per week than, or not per week, but per overall than Jason.
Mhm.
And then Troy at 3-5 is scoring 70 more points than overall than Renee. But if you look at the points against, she is playing one of the weakest schedules compared to Troy. You know, if you flip flop those schedules, Troy's probably in first right now.
But does he? So I like looking at that also. But then, like, what does his team look like? So the PA can be. I mean, look at his PA 700.
But he's only 13 points behind you overall in the season. Scoring.
Yeah, that's rough for him.
Yeah,
That's
it's
brutal.
just it's a brutal schedules is what that comes
Pull
down
up,
to.
pull up Troy's team. See what it really comes down to, because it could have been. I mean, my team, it could be anything, right? I could have had injuries. I could have had this.
No
So he's
quarterback.
got no quarterback. Dobbins is doing nothing. Harris is not great. Cook's been. So he's got
But you
Chase.
say that and he's still only 13 points behind you overall.
There's a winner
And
right
that's why
here.
I'm saying, but it's not necessarily that he's playing against me, because I could be suffering from injuries also. So what's really sucky is his PA, but the PA doesn't matter much if your PF sucks, right? I mean, it just is unfortunate.
It's because you don't have Taysom Hill.
But his
No kidding, bro.
Like his weakest
I
spot
need
right
him.
now is quarterback. Cook's good enough. You don't have to have an absolute stud at running back when we only start one. He's good enough.
Right.
His wide receivers and is carrying his team right now.
Dang, imagine starting the season and being 3-5 with this team. You got Goddard, stud, Mike Williams, Pittman, Chase. Then you got Dalvin Cook, Dobbins, and Najee. Dang, that sucks.
You're thinking, hope they
I
can
see
hold
it a
on
lot.
until Watson gets back.
But he does have Trevor Lawrence. Something's wrong with Troy because Trevor Lawrence was doing all right and he never elevated him.
Yeah,
Now he
it's
might not be able to fit him. I don't know. Something's wrong with Troy's team. Something's fishy there.
Then we got Tim at 7-1.
1
Leading
and
the
7.
AFC
Oh,
East.
my bad.
And Carmen at 5-3 in second. The other two guys don't matter in this division. And AFC West is by far the toughest division in the league. Ash should honestly be in first. He just had a bad week when he played Dan. Otherwise, he'd be 8-0 right now. His team is just so good. He improved it this week with the trade. We've got Dan really kind of he's all right. He's actually scoring more than I am now. That wasn't that way earlier, but his points against is very weak, which might be why he's in first. Then I am third, fighting for that wild card spot right now at 5-3. With
Is your team good? From what I remember, you got a good team.
Yeah, I'm hurting at wide receiver. And, Jonathan Taylor's been hurt, so that's really been brutal for me. I made that trade for Lockett, where I gave up. Well, I guess we'll talk about that in a little bit because DJ Moore just wasn't cutting it for me. And then Lockett and Gallup score a total of 7 points for me last week. And I somehow
Brutal.
pulled. I beat Renee because of that field goal at the end of the game.
Gross. Good for you. Are we getting rid of defense and kickers?
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
Well, we
Is
don't
that
have
next year?
kickers. Defense is going, and both NFL and this league will be gone
Okay.
next year.
God.
NFC North, we have Joe at 7-1, and Brandon,
Yeah.
Me.
Adrian.
Oh.
I think that was Brandon. Adrian took over
Yeah,
this year
yeah.
That's right.
at 6-2. No one else is really competing in this division. It's really probably going to come down potentially to whatever game they play, whatever week it is that they play each other at the end of the season. Although Joe does have a 6-0 conference record.
Wow.
And 3-0 in the division. That is a strong tiebreaker right there. Adrian's gonna have to just win it outright at this point if he wants to win the division.
Yeah, but
he
looking
doesn't.
at the rest of the standings too, wild card is definitely.
I'm just talking about winning the division
Yeah.
on that. He's got a good shot at the wild card, especially being 4-2 in the conference, and tied right now with Dallas, game ahead, 2 games ahead of the other guys in contention. We have Jeremy at 5-3, tied with Chad, a new guy, at 5-3, and then Todd 4-4. I mean, if you look at points for right now, and this is it's brutal that Todd is scoring, 50, 60 more points, 180 more points than the guys in front of him. But
Dude,
schedules can be absolutely brutal. This whole thing is gonna take a few more weeks to really get a clear picture on who's probably gonna come out on top. In the West, we have John at 7-1 and John C at 6-2. Wes and Kevin aren't in contention for anything, in my opinion, based on points scored. Then we got Roy at 6-2 leading the West, Casey at 4-4, and Brandon at 4-4. And Dave is in a rebuild.
Mhm.
I think Casey at 4-4 is more a fluke, just based on points scored. I think he's going to start to fall in the standings, where Brandon's got the better shot at that wild card spot, or potentially pushing Roy for that division lead if he can make up a couple of games. Just he's outscoring, I think, the entire NFC. Yes, he is at 4-4. He's the #1 scorer in the NFC, and I think #2 overall in the league. Yeah, #2 overall in the
Mhm.
league for points for. Go to reports, standings, power ranking. I like to look at this.
Oh.
You guys don't now. Click the PP so we can see
Excuse me.
right now. Look at all the way down there. Detroit 298 points.
That is
I am partially in agreement with you guys about tanking to this level. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's, if he can ever turn this thing around, it's going to take several years, like Justin was saying.
I agree.
I think it's a terrible idea to do what he's doing.
What is he doing that's different than like
he's basically traded everyone away,
And he doesn't have picks really. I mean,
and he's
Enough
just
picks.
he's put a bunch of nobodies on his team for. He's gonna have the #1 pick, but one
click
pick
on his
isn't
team? Thank you.
going to turn the team around. No quarterback.
Oh.
Well, he has Lawrence. Maybe Willis will start in a year or two. Maybe.
Hmm.
Um,
He has
Just
Brees.
Brees.
That's okay. But yeah,
And
you're
Judy.
right. I mean, Godwin, Claypool.
and he just traded for
Brees.
Godwin, which I think we'll talk about.
Oh, okay.
And then first overall pick currently for the AFC is Baltimore. He's doing the similar thing, but I think he's still holding on to some pieces and not trading everyone that's good away, so he can build around some guys. If you look at, he's got Lance and Wilson and Brees, Ayuk, Bateman, Freiermuth, Akers. He's got a good taxi squad, which probably next year I don't know how many picks he has. He'll probably have to promote most of those guys. Just to make room for his picks. Now I think is doing it in a much better way than Jason's doing.
Yep, I agree.
But
hey, this is a
then
great screen, guys. We should remember this screen. This is awesome.
you could then kind of just see where everyone's standing right now. If Renee doesn't win her division, she's sitting at the 6 pick or 7 pick. Jason sitting there, #3 potential points, but 84% efficiency on that lineup. You got to bring that up, Jason.
Is that bad? Is 84
mean,
bad? I mean,
you have one game. If you look over at your coulda ones, you have one game that if you would have been better in your starting lineup, you would have won.
Oh, coulda won. Hey, that's a fun screen. Hey, this is a great screen, guys. This is I like this. So one, that's not too bad, huh?
No, but
that
that's
could've
the
been like-
difference between first and second in the division right now.
But that could have
Yeah,
been like
okay.
Duvernay was sitting on your bench, which he probably wouldn't have started anyways.
Right.
And he went off for what?
Yeah,
30 points or something.
right. Huh, that's a great screen. Let's hit up trades.
Trades, yep.
Thanks for showing us that one. That's a fun screen to check out.
Might have to do 8 days.
That's why we paid the big bucks.
Okay, so our first trade here, we've got Jason making a move to improve his tight ends, trading Fant and a second for Njoku.
How did you guys feel about that?
I
Strong.
didn't think it was bad. I mean,
Yeah,
No, I think it's good.
I've
Just
given up
fair.
completely on Fant, and I think Njoku's quite good. So
Yeah,
I'm hoping also with Watson and next year, maybe they resign him. I think they gave him
they did
a
sign
deal
him.
this
They gave him
year.
like 4 years in the offseason.
That's right, okay. Him
Yeah.
and Watson together?
I think it's a good deal. Even, I think it's pretty fair.
Even, yeah.
then we got Jason K trading Mims, Cedric Wilson, and Chicago's first and second for next year for Godwin and Claypool. I actually like this trade. Godwin's getting older, but Claypool could turn things around. He's
There's talks he might get moved by the deadline.
Oh, really?
which there's talks that he could be coming to Kansas City.
Oh, my God.
Kansas
I
City,
love
Green Bay.
Claypool. I love Claypool. God,
Uh,
he's just a freak athlete. God dang it. I don't know why he's
So
not
I
utilized.
actually like this. I'm not sure I would have given up quite so much, especially because Godwin's older.
He's not
basically
that old. He's
First and a
26
second
or
at this point.
I thought
27.
he was 28.
He's 26.
26. Okay, never mind then. It's Evans, it's old.
Yeah.
Evans is older.
Yeah. So
No,
that's
that's
definitely a solid 2 wide receivers to potentially build around.
I like
And
that.
I
think-
did give him props. And I don't know if this was reaction to you guys
Yes,
just
because it happened after.
railing him in the last pod.
It's a
think
good
it
move.
was.
But that's how you build a team. Good job,
Uh,
Jason.
And then the next trade is me trading Deontay Harty, which was just for Cap, and DJ Moore and a second for Lockett.
Bro, you
I
could
really
have Brandon
like
Cooks for
Moore,
that.
but I gotta try to win now. I gotta try to keep up with Ash and Dan.
That's rough.
That's
That's rough that we're dealing DJ Moore so cheap.
Zach, I would have given you Brandon Cooks for less than that.
but the problem is Cap.
Yeah.
I was in a tight bind trying to find a player to trade for just based on my cap space. I have no cap space.
Yeah, that's
See,
rough.
and you're doing what most teams should be doing. Looking at
Hey, did
who's in front of
CM
you and
Hey, guys,
saying,
hold on one sec. Did CMC go to the Niners?
no, really?
Oh,
CMC traded to the Niners.
No way.
Yep. Wow.
look at that.
That is wild.
Wha-
So CMC, so he doesn't
That's-
really wreck
Where are
too
you
many.
seeing that? Dang.
I got a
Bleacher
sleeper
report.
notification.
Oh, Bleacher.
So CMC to the Niners, it doesn't really mess anyone up. I mean, Jeff
I mean,
Wilson, were you really
it
thinking?
kills the Elijah Mitchell return hype, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
that's the perfect landing spot because Garoppolo likes to check it down. So perfect.
Hey, DJ Moore's on the move, bro. He's got to be, right?
I
don't
don't
know
know
what
what he's
they-
still valuable. Like an older running backs, not so much. Moore's young.
But
and-
imagine what Kansas City would pay for DJ Moore or Aaron Rodgers. Imagine Aaron Rodgers chirping in the GM's ear for DJ Moore. We're forgetting how great, amazing DJ Moore is. Not good. He is great.
I wasn't forgetting. I had to make a move.
I just think consensus. I mean,
But everybody should listen to what Zach's saying because if you want to compete, you have to
You're
make a
right.
move. I mean,
You're right.
if you're not scoring the points and you need to add another player, otherwise you're just going to be mediocre.
You're right.
Quick side note: what's everyone's guess for the compensation for CMC?
Not, it can't be that much.
It's gonna be a first.
Gotta be a first, yeah.
It's gonna be a first.
First,
I think it's gonna be,
Sure.
it's either a first,
not
only
bad.
a first, or it's a 2 seconds or a second and 2/3, something like that.
I think it's a first and like a third.
Oh, I
Oh
thought
my
you
It's
knew.
not out
God.
yet. I don't see it. That's just, I think it's a lot.
Dude, CMC, he is so good. Dang it, guys.
And now he's in
gonna-
Shanahan's run game.
Oh my God. Oh my God. His arms are amazing.
Pretty good.
Good God. Wow. Hey, that's quite sexy, guys.
Alright,
Wow.
and then we have Tampa Bay making another trade, this time giving up Singletary and a second and a fourth for Chark and a first. So he's collecting those first round picks.
Which I probably shouldn't have gave up. But I don't know why I made that trade. I just did.
I mean,
What did you
Singletary's
do?
playing well. Did you need running back help?
Not, yeah, not that much, but I think I was just being nice. See, I can be nice sometimes. He
What
kept
did
on
you
sending me
do?
offers and sending me offers. And I kept on denying, rejecting, and then I was like, okay. And
I'm
it's
not,
gonna be 116.
It was that fourth.
It had to
yeah,
been,
I mean,
it
it's
was the fourth
definitely,
that
it's a
turned out,
definitely
yeah,
a late round.
Yeah, first.
First and Chark. I feel like he was more of a 1-year wonder. He hasn't,
Yeah, it was just kind of a throw-in because I had to drop somebody, so.
then we've got Ashhole here trading a bunch of random shit for the Patriots defense and Raheem Mostert. Just making his team that much stronger. I was trying myself for the Patriots, because I had a bye this week with Buffalo. And, he definitely sent the better offer. Not that it's a great offer, just better than what I had, and he really just added a lot more depth to his
Damn.
team.
Pretty good. Most of
yeah,
it solid the rest of the year.
He's going to, right now, he's gotta be the guy to beat, even though he's not winning the division in the league, just in general. He should, unless he has a bad week in the playoffs, he should be right there, at least in the AFC Championship game.
All right. Christian McCaffrey compensation is out.
Okay, what is it? Give it to me hard.
49ers get Christian McCaffrey. Panthers get a
Okay.
second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth.
Holy crap. Hey,
2023 second, third, and fourth, and a 2024 fifth.
But no fit first, huh?
You know,
So-
first, just everything else.
Wild.
A second and
couldn't
2/3
imagine
was
it was-
close to,
That was very close.
The whole draft, day 2 and
that's where teams are
3, I
made.
guess. Hey, that's solid. I think they'll be happy with that. They're going to get some solid players. How many picks was that? A second, third,
4 picks.
fourth, and a fifth?
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5?
Yep.
Hey, that's solid. And they shed cap. That's good.
And
I like
then we had a trade just a few hours ago. And Geno Smith for a 2023 second.
Gross.
He's definitely, I mean, what do you say, gross?
I mean, we're spending a second on Gino. I know he's doing well, but Lord.
But
heaven.
if it makes the playoffs,
But we're in week 7 and we're spending a second on Gino. We play Dynasty.
You
see,
guys
Geno
keep saying we're in
is-
week 6 and week 7. This isn't like other leagues. We have double headers. We're essentially playing 2 games every week.
Chances that Geno Smith's wheels fall off, plus or minus 50%. I mean, if anything, if it just goes super sideways or down, is anyone going to be surprised? And we just spent it. I'm just saying, spend up a little bit more and get someone that you can probably also build
Okay,
around.
look at his cap. He has 13 in cap space right now. Geno Smith is $1. He had no quarterbacks to start this week.
He can shed Hunter Renfro. Boom, done.
And I think
Hunter
I
Ren-
offered you Geno Smith at $1 and JB, but Yeah,
You
some-
never
Me?
offered me Geno Smith.
Yes, I did. Before he started doing good, you're like, "Pff, I don't want Gino.
Oh, yeah, because I was I
Nobody
was
wanted
not
Geno
big on
then.
Geno. I actually made a comment. I might have been to you that I felt like Seattle was tanking starting Geno Smith
Yes.
and
Yeah.
But I
um,
mean, look, I mean, he's got Wandale and Jamison Williams on. I just, what's his record? Do we know?
Oh, sorry. It
he's fighting
is
for
4-4.
the
He's
wild
4
card.
and 4. Okay. I mean, okay. Who's
Like,
his other
okay, so
quarterbacks?
here's a perfect example. Similar, this was like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't remember the owner. But there was an owner that was borderline fighting for the playoffs. It's like week 6 or week 7. He had no quarterbacks to start because of bye weeks. I tried to trade him a quarterback. He did not want to pay up for a quarterback.
You're rapey. Okay.
No, it wasn't like insane because it wasn't a great quarterback, which is part of why he didn't want to trade up for it.
Mhm.
But he was willing to risk just losing that week and not give up, like, I think a 2nd-round pick. And,
I don't mind that.
but I straight up and said, you have to win this week in
Oh.
doubleheader or you may lose 2 games.
Did
He was
lose 2
willing to risk.
games?
He missed the playoffs by 1 game
Yeah, that
because
sucks.
he wouldn't give up a second for a quarterback to start in a bye week. Double headers
I know.
in my leagues
I get it.
completely changed the outlook. You have to start the win now attitude or trying to trade to win now. Week
I
6,
don't-
week 7, week 8. If you get later than that, it's way too late, especially when our regular season's over essentially at week 12. I know we go to week
Hey,
13
just
now.
just because it's gross doesn't mean it's not a good trade. I don't think I don't love it, but I haven't dissected the details, right? I'm just saying in general, we're spending a 2nd-round pick with a good class for Geno Smith. You know,
Gross.
he's not starting for them next year. He's
So
not
it's
gonna.
yeah. Well,
They don't
you
want
know
him
that.
to anyway. He
Yeah.
might, but they don't want him to. Trust me.
You've got to
He's
be
getting
willing to
his
give up
day in the
future.
sun.
You have to be willing to give up future capital to win now,
Right.
even if
And
it's not a
I'm
sexy
all-
player.
I'm all for it. I do love it. His low cap, you can switch over to JB. His huge cap, his low cap definitely makes the second worth it.
Look at that
Not
AFC
worth
West.
it.
AFC West.
Oh, God help us all.
Mhm.
I get it. Super get it. It's still gross. I would do it maybe, but I was winning over and over again in GA. Thankfully, I had a low PA.
Not if you have
with-
Kirk Cousins. You don't do that trade.
Not if you have anyone. He had no one, right?
We'll
Get
see
Kirk Cousins.
if he wins this
Oh, he
week.
had Kirk Cousins?
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins is on bye this week. He had no quarterback this week.
that's true. He had
I know.
Casey made that trade
I hear you.
to win. So if he wins this week,
for a third, he could. I'm just, hey, it's gross. Gino's gross. He's doing great. I love him. I hope he and his family flourish. It's still
it's
gross.
not a sexy player. I get it.
That's all.
but
Hey, he's
helped
doing
me.
what you got to do to win. Hey, I hope people are taking notes. I hope people are understanding that you got to do what you got to do, even if it's gross.
It's not always going to work out, but you
Yep.
can't let that discourage you either in the future. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
made this one trade that wasn't great. I didn't win, and then I don't have this stuff now,
You're
and
right.
I'm not going to do that anymore because that's going to get you to where you're never going to. There are a handful of guys in the league. I'm not going to mention any names that they don't ever trade. They don't ever try to trade to win now, and they consistently are a losing team record wise.
Oh, I know. We know. We see it. Speaking of not naming names, I'm about to. Are you ready for JB? JB
Let's do it.
is super flex, 12 team, full PPR. God, I love it. NFC North, Mache, you dog, continues to lead the North after an absolute pummeling last week over Nilo's Seahawks. But the division is tight. Casey's Packers have a really tough matchup this week with Jim's 7-1 Panthers. Oddly enough, the bye didn't hurt Casey much, only having Goddard out, but he does have Gesicki. And Jim didn't lose anyone to this week's bye. Cole's Vikings, also not hurt at all during week 7's byes. Play a much easier matchup. Also not hurt. Plays a much easier matchup against Tim's godforsaken Saints, who actually won last week over Casey's Packers when Casey could have really used that win. How embarrassing. I look for Casey to take over second place in the North after this week with the possibility of tying up Mache for first. NFC South. Nick and his Bucks could tie up the South with a win over Nilo's embarrassing Seahawks. Nilo, sweet God, Lord, your team reaches new lows each year. Your drafting is tough to look at as you drafted Burks and Sky Moore. I swear to God, if he doesn't work out, I'm going to shit all over you, Zach, with Hardman. Burks and Sky Moore, each with a first-round selection. You're rostering a guy named Ben Schernowskick as one of your 7 wide receivers. I don't know how it gets worse, but I'm sure you'll show me, Nilo, over the next few weeks. Anyway, be nervous, Jim. If Nick trades his way into a solid wide receiver option, he'll be challenging you for first place come playoffs. NFC West. Side note, I never found Chris likable. Not sure why I mentioned that. Nonetheless, Chris and the Cardinals are a perfect 8-0, and I'm not sure that came with much effort. I could be wrong, but I don't see much activity from the Cardinals. Scary thing is he still has London on taxi. Solid team, man. Not sure why I don't like you. Rizzo, you're not going to make the playoffs. Mitch, keep losing. You're making it look sexy, brother. Nilo, maybe fantasy basketball or baseball would be a better fit. Now, after all the poop I've talked, I'm going to start with the AFC West. I'll start with my Raiders. Listen, I'm not proud of the product I put out. I'm in the cellar in the West. Not cool. Sure, I have a decent PF, but it's not great. Yeah, I have a high PA, but not high enough to complain as much as Zach does when he keeps losing, but has a high PF PA. Oh, and for all the crap I gave Joe about his trash team, he beat me pretty handily last week. Embarrassing fashion. I'm pretty low, guys.
Thank you, Joe.
Zach, yeah, it was, he kind of wasted me too. Zach is 6-2 while rostering Baker Mayfield, Mac Jones, Skylar Thompson, and Bailey Zappi in Superflex. What in the actual F? Also, if your pregnant wife ever says to you, you should name your unborn son Bailey, you know what to do. I digress. I will say Zach's PF and PA is embarrassing, at least. Makes me feel better while looking up at him leading the West. I am very jealous. Renee and her Broncos stay strong in second place with a solid team. She should beat Joe as she just lost. She should beat Joe as he just lost. Hollywood, Gabe Davis, Thielen, and Stafford are on bye, and the possible one-week wonder Ramondre Stevenson has Damian Harris coming back. That said, I'm rooting for you, Joe. Roy, you're perfectly average at 3-5 with a suspect PFPA combo. Going to be tough to make the playoffs, but as always, you have my heart, IRL, and I'm sure trades are in your future. AFC South. Todd and his Steelers took down Goliath last week in a close contest, causing Adrian's Texans to fall to a still impressive 7-1. While Kyle's Jags keep winning despite not having Dak, and I love seeing it, Adrian has a convincing PFPA combo that though they are both 7-1 and looking down at John and Joe from high above, Adrian should continue to dominate and lead the South. Joe, your team's gross. John, bro, just lose, baby. AFC North, so gross. Todd continues to dominate. Jason thought he'd be great again this year, but he sucks with no hope of not sucking. Minivan and his Browns suck again after having a nice 2021, which we were all rooting you on. Tony, loving you, brother. The rebuild continues. I did not see any trades besides. Oh, you know what? Did that Ramon? Oh, it must have. The Ramondre 24 first trade stood.
What's that?
Did
Yeah, it stood.
It stood. Okay. And that's my bad. I thought if anyone was kind of manning the desk, even after cutoff, we could get it. I thought the cutoff was our way of saying, hey, if I'm not around to approve it, it's not getting approved. And don't be surprised because it's in the bylaws.
So.
But if it's 1
if-
hour prior to the game, that's my bad. I will be better.
If someone accepts a trade prior to the deadline and you come in at 11:30, you can approve it.
Okay.
It was accepted prior to the deadline. That's the
Oh,
key.
was the Ramondre one?
He accepted it after the deadline had passed,
Okay.
which you
But you
can,
just,
when you look at the trade screen and commish tools, it will show you when the trade was accepted.
okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, he used him against me. I don't think it would have mattered because he destroyed me. I'm not sure what's happened to my JV team. Pleasured myself several times to that team in the off season and did not help.
It's all your
But-
shit talking on my team. That's what it is. It's karma.
It shit should be talked on your team.
Oh, my
PF
quarterbacks are atrocious. I am stealing wins left and right.
But you're winning and I'm not. That's why I had to give you props. I told you you're looking down at us. You're 6-2. That's pretty awesome. Now
It's
your
not, it's
PF
not gonna last. I'm playing
it's
Kyle
not.
this week.
He's tough.
And then I
I
think
mean,
I play
our
Adrian the
Renee's got a
following week.
solid team. Roy's got a solid team. I have a solid team. I thought, but I have some guys on the team that need to get traded. I need to. I've tried to party, but
Yeah, I
trades
play
aren't-
Kyle and then Adrian the next 2 weeks. And Adrian doesn't have a single player on bye when I play him.
yeah, that's unfortunate. Adrian, your PF is devastating,
It's
bro.
nuts.
I have
That
Jefferson
is
and Cup on bye this week.
I
That
wish I
sucks.
was playing you just to pick up a dub, but I don't even know who I'm playing. I can't remember, but hey guys, that was fun. Zach, love having you, brother. You had a nice fun element to it. Justin, Adrian, love you guys. I hope you guys have a great evening. Any parting words, Zachary?
Yeah, tanking is okay. As long as you do it legit. Always start your best players no matter what, because it doesn't matter if you win or lose. As far as draft picks go, it's all about potential points.
I think
And
everyone tanks the right way. I think in in
we-
our leagues.
yeah, well, it's gotten a lot better. We used to have issues with people not putting in backups or starting the best lineups because they couldn't get out of their heads that the record didn't matter. And do not be scared at all to make a move, even if you overpay a little bit, because you don't know what can happen once you get into the playoffs. And
Spend those picks, guys. Don't hoard those picks. Look at Joe, perfect example. Look at Ash, perfect example.
Ash
Joe,
if you go look at his 32, I think he's got 3 first-round picks next year in 32.
yeah, but he also was retooling in that league.
No, that's the league he's gonna win it
And
all again.
And he retooled in the offseason and then he's still doing well. But he sold a
True.
ton of
He
pieces.
sold Robinson and ETN for first.
He sold a bunch of pieces right after he won,
That's because
from what I remember.
most of those were cap issues.
And yes,
yeah.
yeah, you're right. He did have cap issues, but you know, some of us hold on to picks. I hold on to picks sometimes too long, and I'm trying to be a little bit more spendy, but don't be afraid to spend those picks. Trades, guys, trades. We'll talk about them. Adrian, Justin, anything parting?
I see we're running a little short. I was wondering if Zach could give us about 45 minutes on the right way to tank.
Right. Okay,
Oh,
listen, when I
that pod would have gone on for at least another 30 or 40 minutes had I been on it.
Jason's doing too much. I think Braxton's doing it the right way. Jason's, I think he's
I'm on
overthinking it
Jason's
a
side.
bit.
Jason's my boy. I'm on his side.
But if you go look at my GA,
Getting Godwin
my
for
GA
first.
team,
Great.
I'm
Sweet.
essentially tanking in that, but I have a bunch of good solid pieces. But I traded away my quarterbacks. I traded away,
I'm gonna out tank you in GA. That's my goal.
oh, I don't plan on getting a top 2 pick. It's gonna be like a 4 or 5 pick.
Hmm.
But I like the rest of my team's pretty solid. If I just get running back,
I'm loving watching your GA team never compete personally. All right, guys. Hey, much love to you guys. Enjoyed it. NDL Weekly. That is week 6 in the books. Looking at week 7. Much love to you guys. We will see you in the next one.